Hi, I'm William Control. You're watching the Kerrang podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Kerrang podcast. Here I'm with William Control. How are you doing today?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
I'm good. So you've been in London the last few weeks.
I have.
Can you tell us why you've been staying in this capital city rather than America?
So many reasons. First of all, I filmed a DVD over the course of 3 shows here in London at the Islington Academy, the Metalworks, and the Barfly in Camden. So that's going to be coming out in a couple of months, and the rest of the time I've been working with a band from Austria here in the East End at a place called Cafe Music Studios, producing their record.
What's the name of that band?
The name of the band is Stupe-iT, which means bandage.
Right. How do you spell that for people on Google?
Stupeit, -IT.
Right. Cool. Tell us a little bit about the studio you're in. It didn't always used to be a recording studio, did it?
It surely did not. There's a guy who played in the first punk rock band with digital drums, so the first kind of synth punk rock band. He bought it in 1980 for £18,000. And, for London, that's dirt, nothing. It belonged to 2 Cockney sisters for a long time, and it was a cafe/brothel. So it's located right across the street from an old strip club. So guys would go to the strip club and get dances and get hard, and then walk over to the brothel and get a tug job and a sandwich.
Right.
So,
Is that part of a meal deal?
yeah, probably. I mean,
Yeah. Does the venue have any sort of ambience that echoes the past, or is it just a straight-ahead recording studio now?
Yeah, actually, it's not really sterile like a regular recording. Recording studios are generally pretty neat and clean and tidy, and it's just gear there. I mean, this place has. I mean, the guy's been there for 30 years, so I don't think he's ever cleaned it up. I mean, he's just there's stuff all over the walls and trinkets from times gone by. It's a pretty interesting, and the atmosphere is really cool.
Cool. Going back to the live DVD, why did you pick London to record these shows?
Because it's probably my favorite city to do shows in. Mm-hmm. Definitely, people, they dress up, they get into it. People seem less fickle than America. They're ready to dance more and have a better time. I mean, there's some cities in America that I would totally consider doing a DVD in, but it was pretty fitting to do it here in London, right, considering it's William Control.
Cool. Excellent. In this week's Kerrang, you spoke to us at the Special Heroes special. Special Heroes special.
Special Heroes.
It's very special. You're on page 27 talking about your hero, Oscar Wilde. There you are in the corner. Can you just give us a little overview of why you picked Oscar Wilde as your sort of non-musical, inspiration?
Old philandering Oscar Wilde. His writing is outstanding. The one novel that he does have is truly one of the best novels ever written. But I think I'm more interested in his life rather than his works. And I don't want to say that I don't want to diminish the fact that of the magnitude of his works, because they're amazing. But I think that his story as the son of an eye surgeon and poetess who had really a good start in a pretty prominent childhood, who was able to go and get a nice education. He really was only famous for a few years, in the late 19th century, before he was arrested and imprisoned for sodomy, for essentially being gay, by his lover's father. Right. Which I think the inspiration from his life is a lot more tragic. It's definitely tragic, and I'm probably interested in that part of his story the most.
Yeah. You mentioned when we spoke to you that you've visited the statue in Dublin.
Yeah.
That celebrates his life. And you've been to the cemetery in Paris where his body is. Tell us a little bit about his tombstone, because it's kind of fans have created a kind of, it's protected now by a bit of glass or plastic.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be that big. But fans would go and they would kiss it and leave lipstick marks on the marble. I don't know if it's marble or cement or what it's made from, but the cemetery had it cleaned it off a bunch of times, and then it was degrading the quality of the tombstone. So they put this big glass shield around it. It's now all covered in, dirt and lipstick marks and shit like that. But it was pretty awe-inspiring to be in that cemetery. We went and saw Jim Morrison's grave as well, which is crazy.
Similar trinkets left by fans and stuff, or
not as much, no, not as much. But he really, I don't think he wrote as good as Oscar Wilde.
Yeah. You mentioned the novel. That's the Picture of Dorian Gray.
Yeah.
What other sort of works would you suggest fans check out?
The Importance of Being Earnest. That's an excellent play. And a lot of his short stories, like The Happy Prince. But he's got a lot of short stories. Lord Seville's Crimes. I think that's what it's called. That's a good one. The Devoted Friend. So, I mean, you can buy a, collection of Oscar Wilde, his works for pretty cheap. So
cool.
Check it out, kids.
Yeah, definitely. So what's the rest of 2012 or 2012 hold for you?
2012. I can't believe it's 2012 already. We've known each other a long time, old boy. I'm heading back to America on Monday, the 24th, and then I have October off. And I'm moving, actually. I'm moving, still in Seattle, but to a different house. And Halloween, I start tour with the Birthday Massacre.
Oh, cool.
So it's United States and Canada all of November and into December.
Yeah. And will you be taking time off after that until the new year, or
I will.
Do you ever take time off, really?
Well, I mean, I never really take time off. I take time off from touring, but I'm always doing something.
When will the Stupe-iT, is it an album you recorded, or when will that be out, do you think?
I think it's probably coming out in November, I believe.
Right.
So, but they're doing it all themselves. They're from Austria, trying to make a name for themselves on the continent. So I don't know, really.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. Thanks for joining us on the Kerrang podcast again.
Thanks for having me.
Safe journey back. Enjoy your tour. And, check out the Heroes issue out this week. William's on page 26, and there's about 50 other musicians talking about their musical and non-musical heroes. That's out right now.
Bye.
Bye.